Hey, guys, come in a little bit closer. Yeah, I know this would be tough to talk about, so come in a little bit closer. That's right, I'm talking to you about, that thing that kind of happens to all of us at some point in life. When things kind of get shriveled and wrinkly and dried out. Yeah, we're going to deal with that problem today. Because I'm Ralph, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we are talking about hot dogs, in case you hadn't guessed yet. Today we're going to be starting out with Black Angus all beef 100% hot dogs. And it's tailgate season, football season is upon us, upon the time that I'm videoing this right now. So if you're used to that shriveled up dog that you've been getting from just grilling them out on the grill, there at the tailgate, let me give you an example here. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, nobody likes a shriveled up weenie. We're gonna solve that problem today. So, let's get started. I've got several different ways to show you. The quick and dirty way. You want something quick to eat. The kids are starving. You've got a hot dog. You've got a microwave. This is not, I repeat, not the ideal way to make a hot dog. Wrap it up in paper towel. Stick it in the microwave. About 30 seconds. And we'll see what we've got. It's not going to be ideal, but at least it's not going to be shriveled up. Because the secret to a great hot dog is osmosis. That's an equaling of the moisture. Now, when you've got that dried old weenie that you put over the flames out on the grill or maybe over a campfire, I understand the entertainment value of putting one of these on a stick and giving it to a kid and letting them catch it on fire like a torch. That's a lot of fun, but it's not a great product to eat. Microwaving, no osmosis involved because there's no other moisture in the microwave. All the moisture is coming out of the hot dog. Now 30 seconds, more than enough to make that hot, but take a close look at that. That's not ideal. It's a little kind of puckery, a little misshapen a little bit. It's extremely hot. You're not going to want to stick this in your mouth because you're going to burn the daylights out of your mouth. So, next best thing. Boiling, steaming. Let's try something different. If you boil it in water, it's going to be transferring moisture from the hot dog to the water, from the water to the hot dog. That's a good thing. But there's not a lot of flavor to water. So some people say, let's boil it in beer. So I've got one. I've got beer that's boiling. I'm gonna stick it in there. Need to top it off just a little bit more. Make sure our hot dog is covered. But what about steaming? We can just go ahead and take care of two things at the same time here. Put that grate in there. Now put another hot dog in there in the steam pan. Now, the secret here to boiling, never boil it longer than say about 5 minutes. So let me set the timer here real quick. 5 minutes, that's all it's gonna take. If you do it longer than 5 minutes, that thing is gonna start splitting open. You don't want a weenie that splits open. That's going to let all of the juices out, and that's just the opposite of what you want to do. You want to be able to plump up in the moisture, and that's what's going on. It's just like when you season a steak, you're seasoning it with salt, you're sucking moisture out of the steak, and then it soaks the moisture back into the steak with the salt. That's osmosis. Same thing's going on while it's boiling. Same thing is going on during the steaming. Now, there's a third way that's pretty darn good, that's going to take advantage of both the boiling and the steaming, and then adding that grilling that you guys are so favorable about. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna put a little bit of beer. You can also use water. No more than a 1/4 inch into just a regular skillet. Bring the heat up. When that starts getting hot, I'm gonna add our remaining hot dog. What's gonna happen is, we're gonna have that in there. We're gonna move it around periodically. It's gonna be soaking up the water, just like boiling, because the beer is gonna be hot. But the beer is also evaporating, so steam is coming off it, steaming it at the same time. And as that beer, or water, evaporates, eventually that's gonna be gone, leaving us just the skillet to be able to keep rolling it back and forth and grilling it on. This can work out great. I did it with bratwurst just the other night. Oh, some of the best bratwurst possible. I mean, it just plumps them up and just, oh, succulent. Trust me on this. I love this way of doing it. Downside of this takes a little bit longer. Boiling, steaming should not take any longer than 5 minutes. And it's simple. You put it there, you kind of forget about it. You've got a timer, and you come back to it when the timer comes off. This method, you're actually going to have to keep an eye on it because you are going to be rolling it back and forth, and you don't want it to get to a dry pan and have it stay in that stage for very long. Shortly after it gets to the dry pan, we're going to be done. So, beer is starting to come up. I can turn it down just a little bit. Looking good though. I'm going to go ahead, turn this over just so it steams evenly all around. I'm getting a good hot beer here in the pan. So I'm going to take our last hot dog, put it in there. Now, I'm going to set the timer there for 1 minute. And I'm going to make sure I've flipped it at least every minute until this process is done. Now, if you're enjoying this video, consider giving us a like down below. Love a subscription, but only if you really feel like it. In the meantime, things are looking good here. A couple of little facts. Did you know that more people consume hot dogs in the United States than hamburgers? Blew my mind. Could not believe that. More hot dogs than hamburgers? That sounds crazy to me. But surveys of bun sales, they sell a lot more hot dog buns than hamburger buns. Therefore, more people must be eating hot dogs than hamburgers. How are things looking over here? Looking pretty good. I'm going to go ahead, give that a spin because our timer's going off. Also, another fun fact. I love mustard on my hot dogs. A lot of people love mustard on their hot dogs. There are tons, thousands, maybe millions of ways to have your hot dogs. I come from Chicago. People up there are favorable to the Chicago style dog. But I know there's the New York City dirty water dog. There's the LA bacon dog. There's a lot of great dogs out there. Okay. Here's our steamed dog. And here's our boiled dog. Okay. Compare these to the microwave dog. Really? Is this what you really want to have? I don't think so. Compare it to the shrivel dog. Okay, it's got a lot of length, but is that really what you want? No, I don't think so. You're going to want one of these dogs. So how do they taste? Now, you might think that because they're boiled in beer or steamed in beer, it's going to have a heavy beer flavor. Actually, that's not the case. You're just substituting some flavor in the water instead of water that has no flavor. So it's adding a little bit of flavor to the hot dog. Very juicy, very flavorful. But no, it's nothing like drinking a also very flavorful, much more so than a regular hot dog that was done in just plain water, because when it's done in plain water, it comes out kind of bland. This just adds a little water. Now, the New York hot dog vendors know this because in their so-called dirty water, it's not really dirty, it's seasoning that they put into that water so that that osmosis process is putting some of that seasoning into the hot dog, and that's what makes it so great. Now look in here. We're getting a little color on this. It was able to absorb a lot of the moisture. I'm rolling this back and forth. May pick up a little bit of the fond here in the pan. I'm going to turn off the heat and just let the heat of the pan do the work here. I think we're ready. Get this so you can see it. So you can see it's taking on a little bit of color here. Now it's going to be very hot, so I'm going to try to talk here for just another moment before we take a bite. But talking about that mustard, one of the reasons I love mustard is because of the health benefits to mustard. Believe it or not, yes, there are health benefits to mustard. If you have muscle cramps, this is the best thing you can use for muscle cramps. It will get rid of them on the spot. You ever have a Charlie horse in the middle of the night? I have. It's not fun. Spoonful of mustard knocks it right out. I was at an athletic event. It's a polo match. One of the players, good friend of mine, had a cramp right there up down the horse, had to stop the play. I ran over to the concession stand, grabbed a couple of packets of mustard, came back, sucked it out of the packets, gone. Able to finish the chucker. Mustard, I got that little trick from a couple of pharmacists. Gunner's all excited about these hot dogs. But it works. Okay, Gunner, come here, come here. Come here. Come on. Okay, I'm sorry, but we gotta keep him quiet somehow. Come here. Come here. Okay. Watch the beer. Yeah, hold my beer. Okay. So, I think it's ready to try our, and I believe that the term that this is hydro roasting, because it starts out in moisture, it evaporates, it steams while it's boiling, and finishes up with a grilling. So let's see what we have. I've got to say, if you've got the time, this is the ultimate. This imparts the most flavor. It plumps up very nicely compared to the others. It takes on a little extra color from the grilling. You don't want it to split. You're able to pull it off without it splitting. I gotta have another bite. I'll even let Gunner have some. Gunner, come here. Come here. Good boy. That's it. That is the best way to make a hot dog. Hands down. Trust me on this. Thanks very much. Catch you the next time. Thanks for watching.